Technological and institutional reforms, collectivizations, consolidation of holdings, cooperation and abolition of jamidari, agriculture reforms, which is green revolution and white revolution. Green revolution basically related with food items, and white revolution related with milk. Okay. And green revolution introduced in India in 1960. Institutional reforms, provisions for crop insurance against drought, flood, cyclone, fire, and diseases. Establishments of Grameen banks, which is we call village banks, and cooperative societies. Banks for providing loan facility to the farmers at lower rate of interest. So these are the basic institutional reforms which is did by government. Some other schemes which we call Kisan Credit Card KCC, Personal Insurance Accident Scheme, special weather bulletins and agriculture programs were introduced on TV and radio. Announcement of minimum support price. We already read about the minimum support price, which is launched by government. Government introduced the minimum support price for food items to farmers. And also they give weather news in television and also in radio. Next we see a Bhumi Dan, Bhudan, Gram Dan movement in India, which also known as bloodless revolution. So let us try to understand what is Bhudan and Gramdan revolution. Bhu word is coming from a Sanskrit word. Bhu means land and Dan means, this is also from English word, and Dan means donation. Gram means village, Dan means donation. So when you did your land donation, when you did your village donation, we called it Bhudan and Gramdan. Mahatma Gandhi declared Vinoba Bhave as his spiritual hero. He also participated in Satyagraha as one of the foremost Satyagrahis. He supported Gandhiji concept of Gram Swaraj. After Gandhiji martyrdom, Vinoba Bhave undertook Padyatra, which we called walking, to spread the message throughout the country. Once he watched who Vinoba Bhave was at Andhra Pradesh. Some landless farmers demanded land for their economic well-being. He assured them to talk to the Indian government to provision of land for them if they undertook cooperative farming. So Sri Ramchandra Reddy stood up and offered 80 acres of land to 80 landless farmers. This was known as Bhudan, which we call land donation. Later he introduced his idea throughout India. Some jamidars offered to distribute villages among two landless farmers. This was known as Gramdan. Some people donating their land, and some jamidars offered all the villages. So this called Gramdan. However, many landowners chooses to provide some part of their land to the poor farmers due to the fear of Land Ceiling Act. This Bhudan Gramdan movement, initiated by Vinoba Bhave, is also known as bloodless revolution. An image of Vinoba Bhave given in our textbook. Now we see the contribution of agriculture to the national economy, employment and output. Because you already know in this starting of this video, in this starting of this chapter, I also introduced the agriculture is backbone of Indian economy, because more than 50% people, they are doing agriculture work for their livelihood. So agriculture has been the backbone of Indian economy throughout its year in the gross domestic product, which we call GDP, has registered a declining trends from 1951 onward. In 2010 to 11, about 52% of the total workforce was employed by the farm sector. So you easily see they are half of the country population uh, donate their labor on the agriculture field. Declining the share of agriculture in the GDP is matter of serious concern, because any decline and stagnation of agriculture will lead to a decline in other spheres of economy, having wider implication for society. Establishment of Indian Council of Agriculture Research, which we called ICAR, Agriculture University, Veterinary Services, Animal Breeding Centers, they opens, horticulture development, research and development in the field of meteorology and the weather forecasting were given priority to improving Indian agriculture. So government do more effect, they open out the agriculture universities, and they are established the Indian Council of Agriculture Research. They open the veterinary services, breeding centers, horticulture development. They broadcasting the weather condition in television and the radio. So government also take part to secure the agriculture of India, because 50% of population do farming work in India. So they the farming agriculture play a very crucial role in Indian economy and in GDP. Next, growth of GDP and major sector. तो हम देखेंगे कि वेरियस सेक्टर्स में, मेजर सेक्टर्स में जीडीपी का क्या रोल है इन इंडिया. बच्चों, दिस आर द सेक्टर्स गिवन हियर: agriculture sector, industries and services, and total GDP. Okay. In the year 2002 to 7, which is 5-year plan, 11th 5-year plan 2007 to 12, and the data of 2012 to 17, target 1 and target 2. So these are data given by the government of India. Okay, this is not fake data. So they are giving an example to us how the sectors play role in GDP. So in agriculture in 2002 to 7, 1.7, and in 2007 to 12, 3.2, and targeted 4.0 and 4.2. In industry area 8.3, 7.4 in the year of 2007 and 12, and the year of 2012 9.6 to 10.9. And service sectors in agriculture, you try to understand all the agriculture work included in, industry areas included it, and services, all the service which received, okay, they are included in them. So in the year of 2007 to 12, 10%, and in between 2012 to 17, 10% and 10%. So the total is in 2002 to 7 is GDP 7.2, and the year of 2007 to 12 8.2, and the year of targeted 9.0, and second targeted 9.5. So we easily see how the sectors play role in GDP. So some basic points come through this chapter. Like growth in agriculture is decelerating. Indian farmers are facing big challenge from international competition, and our government is going ahead with reduction in the public investment in agriculture sector. Subsidy on fertilizers in decreased, delaying to increase in the cost of production, Reduction in important duties on agriculture production have proved harmful to agriculture in the country. Farmers are withdrawing their investment from agriculture, causing a downfall in the employment in agriculture. So the farmers are our country are facing many problems because government not implement their programs and scheme the large scale, and they are not implement in the basic levels. And also farmer do not want to invest in agriculture because if they do not gain that much profit, what will they do? They do not have that much sufficient anything to save their agriculture, so they are not interested to do in. Impact of globalization in agriculture. To make agriculture successful and profitable, proper trust should be given to the improvement of condition of marginal and small farmers. The Green Revolution promised so much, but being aligned, it is hand been caused land degradation. The key words today is Green Revolution, which includes genetic engineering. In fact, organic farming is much is vague today because it is practiced without factory made chemicals such as fertilizer and pesticides. Hence, it does not affect environment in negative manner. Indian farmers has a bleak future if they continue growing food grains on the holding the grow smaller and smaller as the population rises. Indian farmers should diversify their cropping pattern from cereals to high value crop. This will increase in incomes and reduce environmental degradation simultaneously. Indian diverse climate can be harnessed to grow the wide range of high value crops. Did you know organic agriculture will adapt to the climate change more quickly? So this chapter end here. So in this chapter we try to understand all about agriculture and how agriculture make effect on any country GDP. Basically when the agriculture backbone of any particular country.